I believe that by accepting what we don't know, it gets us out of the second bad reaction. Specifically, we have this impulse, even if we're mindful about it and say, okay, I can see the situation clearly, our next impulse is to control everything. We try to build this bridge again over these uncertain waters. We do more business plans, more marketing requirements documents and product requirement specifications, more sophisticated charts and more sophisticated engineering the more we continue to grow. And these tend to be our default go-to problem-solving tools. In fact, we see the world as really just having one axis. There's the world of the obvious where cause and effect is just like a bicycle. And this is a place where it's just about following rules, because come on, that's what we all do. Just do what I say and get it done, because that's in my toolkit. And if I don't know the answer, I can go to a better expert. And it's just a more complicated problem than we've seen before, and I can hire a better expert who's going to them, feel like cause and effect is more obvious. And I just need to analyze the problem, and I can sit in a room at length and figure it out and cause it to be done. This is the space of certainty. And when we're faced with the unknown, as was mentioned before, we expect this certainty. We expect the world to behave this way, but how much do we really control? How much do we really control the traffic patterns between here and our offices about whether there's going to be an accident on the highway and the freeway? What is it that causes us to still interact in this world? You know, my phone may run out of batteries and I may miss 10 text messages that are critical. My sweet daughter may get in a car wreck on the way home. There are so many things that we in fact don't control. We don't even control whether the fire alarm is going to go off in 5 minutes. No ideas, Scott. But as in our software minds, we tend to expect this rationality to apply to the world. And the truth is, it's analog. Man, the world is analog. And all of our engineering training has trained us to believe that the world has simply bits and bytes and ones and zeros and black and white. But in reality, that's the exception, not the rule. You look at 2 nights ago, where we have Carrie Welsh Jennings and April Ross. They've won 3 gold medals. They're on track for their 4th. But their coach for the last 2 Olympics said something really interesting on TV 2 nights ago. He said, I can't control if we're going to win. I can control whether we do the right things, whether we practice, whether we hit the ball effectively, and so on. And so in uncertainty, the sphere of control is smaller, but it's still there. There are things we can do, and that helps combat the frustration and the overwhelmed feeling, realizing that there are things, in fact, that we can do. But if we're stuck on this idea of certainty, like German philosopher Erich Fromm said, we're really going to block our search for meaning. Uncertainty is the condition that, in fact, encourages us to unveil and unfold the powers that we have. So the world doesn't just look like this. In fact, the continuum continues. There's the world of the complex. We're going to call these green problems. And in the complex, cause and effect is only available after the fact. I can't predict the future here. It's a complex ecosystem, like introducing a new species into a biome, where I don't know what's going to happen to my favorite frog. This is the space of entrepreneurship. There are cases where there's no cause and effect and chaos, and that's the space of firefighting. This is a science of a Welsh scientist called Cynefin. And so you could look at this scale on the left and say there are areas of low uncertainty and high uncertainty, and there's really a line here. And in that line, we find that the blue problems respond well to planning down below, whereas the green problems take a different approach. In fact, as we look at that specific line, the creator of Cynefin said, don't approach highly uncertain green problems with the same methods you've used for certain blue problems. Don't do it. Don't cross that line, because frankly it doesn't work. There's a scientific reason why, and it has to do with cause and effect. You cannot predict the outcome. Therefore, if you try, you're giving yourself a false sense of confidence. And it isn't that, as some agilists say, well, you can never know the future. That's just agile development. No, that doesn't work. What we have is, in fact, the scientific method. This has been around for millennia. It's designed to help us actually explore the future, not just execute toward it, to find out what emerges, not just succumb to our abilities to analyze, to enable good processes, not to force and govern them, to prepare so we won't fear over just giving root to the idea that, or food to the idea that we just plan ourselves to death. We experiment more than we try to control in this space. I like this quote that says, faith in order to be faith, and if the concept of faith makes you uncomfortable, think experiment. An experiment, in order to be an experiment, must center around something that is not known. It has to go beyond that for which there is confirming evidence. Faith, to be faith, must go into the unknown. It must walk to the edge of the light and then a few steps into the darkness. In this space, we still can take a few steps, but we don't necessarily know or control exactly where we're going in all of these ways, and we need to accept it. It's just scientifically the way it is.